Well, hello, hello, hello. How are you today on this beautiful, beautiful day that the Lord has made? Just wanted to come on here real quick on my lunch break and say hello, just check in with you guys. So, you probably noticed the balloons in the back of me. Well, they on another section that I don't work in, they celebrate birthdays. And so this birthday is for a young lady that they're going to celebrate later on today. So they put the balloons back here. They often do put the balloons back here. And so she's actually the lady who they're celebrating. I always tease her and tell her she's my work best friend. She's the first lady of her church. Her husband is a pastor. And so actually, we did do a video together, but I never uploaded it, so we're going to do another one eventually. We were singing a song, and I forgot why I didn't. I forget. We got interrupted, so we didn't upload it. I didn't upload it. But yeah, so the birthday celebration is for her today. Her birthday was last week, but she was celebrating. She went on vacation with her family. So, yeah, so it's her birthday. And so, this is September. What is it? September the 29th. September the 29th. So this month is gone, and so October is soon to come. So I was just in my previous shorts, I was just remembering my loved ones, from 2020 to 2021, I think. I lost about 5 people in my family that were close to me, direct family members, immediate family members, which was my husband first, then my son, then my brother, then my sister, then my brother, then my grandson. So my grandson, his birthday was September the 20th, and he was only, I believe, 19 years old. So I miss him so much. I think about him often, and I'm certainly not over his death. He was the youngest one, so he didn't get to, live his life. And my son, he was born with a lot of ailments, and we thank God that he made it so far in life at 25. And he wasn't my biological son. He was my sister's son, but I did raise him. And, you know, he called me mom, and I called him my son, and that's what we were. And so, that's the way it went. But anyway, I'm certainly not over their deaths because they were so young. His I understand a little bit more, but anyway, you know what? One thing about life, you're not guaranteed to live old. You're not guaranteed anything. But you know what? We had, for my grandson that passed, we had just spent Thanksgiving with him, and he was telling us all about the Lord, and how he talks to the Lord, and how the Lord, speaks to him and encourages him. And it's just a wide variety of things that he told us about his walk with Christ. And so with that, I believe that was arranged by God. Never underestimate the Lord. I think it was arranged for our meeting. We had Thanksgiving together, and we actually, that year, we were not going to get together, but we did have it. And he was there, and he told us, all about his walk with the Lord. So I think we were comforted by that. And his mother, I think that right there, because we knew where he was with the Lord, I think that within itself made all of the difference. I know it did with me, and I know it did with his mom. So, I haven't gotten over him yet. I'm not going to act like I did, but guess what? We know that he's in a better place. And even, his grandmother on the other side. Hey. You got one for me? Thank you.
Birthday.
Huh?
Birthday.
Miss Ryder's.
Oh, they hide them from her?
Yeah, they always put them in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Anyway, we got our new 2024 binders. And I didn't look inside of it yet, but I heard it was really nice inside. But anyway, So, yeah, but yeah, my grandson, rest in peace. We called him Bubs, Bubba Lubs. They called him Bubbles for short because they called his father Bubbles, so we called him Bubbles. Then we went from Bubbles to Bubs to Bubba Lubs. And I remember my granddaughter, his sister, we were in church, and they were all like 2 and 3 years old. And when the lady said, "What's his name?" And she said, "Bubs." And then she said, "What's his whole name?" She said, "Bubba Lubs." So it was so cute. I just remember all of those precious, precious moments. I tell you, he was, he used to call me every day for a while. He called me every day. I used to talk to him on the phone, me and his mother. But anyway, he's gone. So rest in peace to him. Rest in peace, Bubs, our Bubba Lubs. And so anyway, let's see. Oh, yeah. So just to say a little bit about my car, my new car. I have a 2024 Honda. I think it's called, let me look at my pocketbook. It's a Honda HRV LX. A Honda HRV LX. So what happened is that I had just purchased, I think it was in May or June, a vehicle. And I had to surrender it because it went into a flood. It had the flood damage, and the insurance, I had plenty of insurance to fix it, and they paid the people to fix it. They told me where to send it. I sent it to Amoco, and they didn't put a motor in it, and that's a long story, and I am going to look into it some more. But sometimes you just have to give things over to the Lord, but it's also okay to speak up for yourself when someone's done you wrong. So anyway, I'm going to handle that. And so then I needed a car. I've been driving my granddaughter's 2006 Hyundai. It drives nice, except for something's wrong with the frame of the car, where it keeps you have to keep buying another tire. So other than that, that car drove fine, even though it had almost 200,000 miles on it. And this is the thing that in my mind, the last few months, I had in my mind I could see a white SUV, and I'm like, okay, white, but I don't drive SUVs. I'm not much of a driver, and I definitely don't drive anything that big. And I just usually drive a sedan. So, but that was in my mind. I told my sisters or somebody, I'm going to get a white car this year. I might have told my daughter. I'm not sure who I was saying that to. Just a few times I mentioned it. And I said, I'm going to get a white vehicle with dark, interior, because of my grandkids. I don't want them getting it dirty. So, so when I called to get a new car, and I got approved, I don't know if you know now that they don't have a lot of cars. You don't have a lot of choices. So when they brought the car out, I didn't tell them, anything that I wanted. When they brought the car out, it was white, and it had black interior. And they said, this is not a Honda Civic, but it's a 2024. It's just a little bit smaller than an SUV. And I'm like, oh boy, I don't drive cars that big. I'm just used to driving what I'm used to driving. So I got in it, and immediately I felt comfortable. Immediately. It surprised me. And so the guy got in. We took it for a test drive. It was fine. I felt fine. So thank God for that. And so the next day I went back. Was it the next day? Yeah, the next day I went back because I had to go to work, so I couldn't just stay. You know how it is sometimes buying a vehicle from the car lot can take a long time. So I said, listen, y'all, get the numbers together. I'll come back the next day. So I came back the next day, and I got it. And that's, that was it. So I contribute that to the Lord because I have a vehicle surrender, which is a repossession on my vehicle because, like I said, they paid for the motor to be fixed, and they didn't fix the motor. And, the reason why I know they did not put another motor in there, period, point blank, not even an old motor, a no good motor, they did not do that. Because when I got my car back, and if you guys think anything different, let me know, because maybe I can learn something. But when I got my vehicle back, all of my all of my stations on my radio was on there as I had left it. So typically when you have when you put a motor in, you have to take out the battery. So once you take that battery out, you have to redo all your stations, your time and everything. All that stuff was still on there. Yeah, all of my stations, the time, everything was still on there. And trust me, they didn't put that stuff back in. And as soon as I got it, I knew what happened. But, you know, I didn't want to debate it with them because the guy had kind of prepared me in my mind that they were up to no good. Because he's like, first time I came to look at my car, he said, look at all this water in your car. And I'm like, no, I don't know where you got that water, but I drove that car, and that car did not have water in it. So I know for a fact that car did not have water in it. So then I said, okay. Then he was like, yeah, we're nice, but until somebody gets nasty with us and then this and that. And I didn't know where that came from, you know, out of left field. So I thought when he said that, I said, well, you know what? He must be talking about the customers, you know, getting upset with them over something that they didn't do, because why are you talking about a customer, you know, being nasty with you? He said, yeah, we're nice until somebody. So I'm like, okay, I took that in. And I just felt like, okay, so they may not be, you know, all that they say they're going to do. They, you know, a lot of car places are crooked. Not all of them, but some of them, especially the big names, and they are. And so when I got my car, and that car used to drive good. It was a nice car, and it drove very well, and I really enjoyed it. But when I got it back from them supposedly putting in a new motor, that car drove like crap. And I knew I couldn't. And I called the car dealership that I got it from, and they told me I could voluntarily surrender it. And that's what I did. So in August, I had that on my credit, a voluntary surrender. So September, I go and apply for a new car and approve. So as far as I'm concerned, that's nothing but God. That's nothing but the Lord, who gave me the vision of the white car, showed me what I was going to get. And that's not the first time I've had like a vision, a dream, or whatever you want to call it, in my mind, and then it comes to pass. But it doesn't happen often. I can tell you that. Maybe once or twice before. That's about it. But anyway, so now I am enjoying my new car. It's a white, like I said, 2024 Honda HR-V. I think that's what it is. White car with black interior, and I am enjoying it. So, you know, you got those payments all over again, and it is what it is. So, you know, I'll be just fine. I'm going to pay the car off early. I am going to pay it off early. But anyway, so I thank God. I thank God for that. I thank God, you know, for what he's doing in my life. And, I just thank God for, you know, who he is. You know that song, You Never Left Me. You know, I just thank God for who he is. That song by, I didn't know who sang it at first, Marvin Sapp. Yeah, you know, how does it go? Let me see if I can get the words to it. Okay, it's called You Kept Me. It's called You Kept Me. And that's the way I feel. It says, he kept me through danger seen and unseen. That's what he does, isn't it? He keeps us through dangers seen and unseen. And it says, you protected me and provided all I need. How does it go? You never left me. Carried me through safely, sheltered me under. That's not the way it goes, is it? Anyway, there's no place I would rather be than under the wings of the Lord. No other place I would rather be. So I know, you know, I've been a Christian for a while. You know, and as we grow, we mature in Christ. We mature in Christ, and I love where I am, and I don't plan on going backwards. It's just a good walk, and I have some plans for my life. Lord spare me, if he blesses me to do it, if he blesses me to do it, if he spares me to do it, I'm going to be an entrepreneur next year. And like, I'm not trying to get rich or anything, but I do want to help others. I do want to use some of my profits for helping people that, that are in need. So that's what I want to do. That's what I plan to do. That's what I told the Lord all about it. So, and I'm not going to be working 2 jobs and things like that. As much as I enjoy both of my jobs, I really do. As much as it is all working out for my good, this is not something I want to do all of my life. I'm 62. I'm going to be 63 next year. And so I want to spend time with my grandkids. My little granddaughter, she's 3, the youngest of the bunch. And then I have a great-granddaughter. She's 3 or 4. And my grandson, he's 5. So I want to spend time. That little great-granddaughter is sassy as all outdoors. Ooh, she tells me. But anyway, I want to spend time with them. And little Nyla, she's the baby of the whole bunch. And she's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. So, and I see as my little man, he loves me when I come. He shows me so much love. So I thank God for them. I thank God for my grandchildren. I want to be able to put them on the school bus or take them to school and get them off the school bus, help them with their homework, give them their little snack, make sure they get their homework, make sure they, get what they're supposed to get, learn what they're supposed to learn at the vital ages, which I think they would do that whether I'm there or not, because they know so much already at their age, colors and alphabets and things like that, even though they're young. So I'm pretty sure they don't have a problem, catching on. But, as they get older, you want to make sure that they catch on, especially in the math. And not just the math, but certain parts of English, even though they might know the alphabets, how to write. But just, putting a paragraph together correctly, writing in cursive that some schools no longer teach in our area. They don't teach that anymore. Just things like that. I just want to be there for them, do some things with them, not everything, but just some things. And also I want time for me. I want to go on some trips. So yesterday at work, we were at a resource fair. That's one of the things we do. And I met the lady who was the director of the senior center, which she doesn't remember that I met her before, because when I was a Girl Scout leader, we held Girl Scout meetings there. And so she's going to email me some of the trips they're planning, some pretty good trips. And I plan to be going on some of these senior trips where they provide the transportation, whether it's a day trip, and I like to do an overnight trip here and there, Not often. I prefer to go with my church, but we haven't planned any trips like that here lately, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm just thrilled. I'm thankful. We have church tonight. This is Friday, so we have church Friday night, and I'm planning on being there. Yeah, and my client's going to be with me because she wants to go to church. She's been asking, and last week was her birthday, so we didn't go because we was at the restaurant. But the week before, I did take her, and she really liked it. I took both of them; they really liked it. So I'm looking forward to it today, church today, and hopefully they'll really enjoy it again. And I'm getting ready to cut this video off, and I look forward to finishing up 2 Corinthians with you. I hope you tune in. 2 Corinthians is really, really good. It's real. The whole book is really good. But Paul is letting them know that all through the Bible we see when people mess up that they're persuaded to come back to the Lord. They're persuaded to come back to the Lord all through the Bible. And I just want to say to you that if you feel like that you might have kind of backed away from the Lord or got away from him in any kind of form, you can come back today. Just simply say, Lord, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. I believe that Jesus died on a cross for my sins and that God rose him on the third day. Yes, he did. And just like that, you will be a born-again Christian. You will be what they call born-again, saved. Your name written in the Lamb's book of life is what matters. That's what matters. And the way you get there is through Jesus. There's no other way. So you can say there's another way. You can go ahead and try another way. There's no other way. There's no other way. But you have every right to believe what you want. I won't debate it with you. Anyway, so I just wanted to come on here. It's been 20 minutes already, so I'm going to end right now. All right. So God bless you all. God bless you all until we meet again. God bless. Bye-bye.